my channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment.
The friendship is there. I think we already passed that level.
Absolutely.
But I do think that there are some things that I feel are still out there that I'm not quite sure about, that it hasn't given me necessarily the confidence that I would need. So I'm choosing myself today. Oh, you're too cute to be a stepmom. Oh, stop it, I know.
Maurier has like a 10-year-old, and him and mother of his child have a really good relationship.
How good is the relationship?
They co-parent very well. And
How well?
well enough that the kids are taken care of.
Is she getting taken care of too?
Oh, so these are questions.
We'll find out.
Hello guys, welcome once again to our channel. So today we're finally going to be covering the season finale of Ready to Love, episode 12. It has been a good ride because I did enjoy this season. This season came with a lot of things, the drama, the fun, everything. Like I did love the season and I can't actually wait for the reunion. But before we talk about the reunion, let's talk about today's episode, which is the season finale. Um, I felt like the season finale was a little bit boring because some of them, okay, let's say why I say boring is because um I already knew that Quinton and Janelle were going to end up together, so there was no much suspense that was there was between Aries and Phil and Maurier,
And
Maurier,
Jessica.
Katrina, and Jessica. That was the only suspense. So I was like, okay, the three couples, only two were like I had suspense about, and the only one person was already known. Like I felt like they should have just hurried up Quinton and Janelle's on. There was no need on you know taking us on that journey of them. But since they decided to take us on the journey of this of every couple. This was their last dinner. It was quite strange because remember the first dinner they were filled up, and now the last dinner the place was literally empty. To just put a sign of like this is the end of this season,
Right. I thought it
and
was just really strange the way it kind of all played out. You know, I mean, we could have all figured out the ending of all this, because they dragged all this along for the last, what, 3, 4 episodes? The back
yeah,
and forth with Phil and Aries, is he stable? Is he unstable? You know, does it can he carry me financially? Do I have to carry him financially? They've been going back and forth on that. And Janelle and Quinton, oh my God. Yeah, we knew age ain't gonna be a thing because you're trapped. You know what I'm saying?
he said he's trapped.
Yes, he is trapped and stuck with
Ah.
her. He might have to get a restraining order to break up with her. you know because
Oh my
she is
god.
just too direct, and when she gets that direct, you notice he gets quiet. He don't say nothing. you know so yeah, she's running that. You can only see, you know and hey,
Yeah.
that's
Well,
okay.
well, we're talking about the episode, right? Talking about the episode. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Firstly, we'll talk about Janelle and Quinton because their story was predictable. We knew what was going on. Today's episode, we were to meet the family of the ladies, and Janelle's family to meet was her cousin, bro, Courtney,
Mhm.
and he met up with Quinton. I felt like he didn't really like. Okay, fine. I feel like he didn't really probe Quinton a lot.
Mhm.
I think he was just blinded by the fact that his sister was so, would I call it so in lust or so in love?
Mhm.
Um, because and I feel like she's not listening to what is going on, because he is talking about the fact that he wants to have children. He wants to have his own kids, not that he wants to even have children. He wants to have his own kids, and he wants to have three. And you are
Right.
like, oh, I can do him a solid of giving him one and
Yeah.
the half, and the half is a pet.
Right.
Now, you hear a guy telling you that he wants his own kids and he wants three. It's I don't know. People, that's what they say. People like to jump into things even when they are seeing that it's not going to work out. Then tomorrow,
Mhm.
if the guy goes outside to get another lady pregnant, you'll be like, you're cheating on me. You went out and got another lady pregnant. But he told you
Yeah.
that, babes, I want three kids, and you are old, and you know that, oh, probably you are not interested in carrying three children at this
Right.
your age, but you are still going ahead with relationship. Why? And you are still giggling like, oh, I love him. And you love, yeah, you love him, but be rational.
Yeah, I think Janelle, she's selfish. You know what I'm saying? Y- This guy, he wants a family. He doesn't mind adopting, but he'd like to have some of his own seeds, which is understandable. He's a young buck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's had her time, and she's standing on, hey, one kid, you know? Because she don't even know if she want to have three kids around her, you know? So, yeah, I mean, he knows what he's getting into, and it kind of makes me think like, are they doing this for the show's purposes? Because I can't wait to see the reunion. I want to see if they stay together. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
what's going on with them after the finale, you know? Because I just don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I don't
Because
see that this is
they
a,
be
a total match.
they be confusing me, because Quentin is saying that's a deal breaker, that she doesn't want to have more kids. And he feels like the way he was talking, he wants to have more of his own kids than adopted. Like, let's say three, two are his own, then one is adopted. That's how I'm seeing the way he was talking.
Right.
And you're saying it's a deal breaker, but you're still saying that we have a good connection. And I'm like, you are seeing your deal breaker in your front.
Right.
Why are you still going ahead? It looks so unrealistic to me, so plain.
Yeah.
I was like, in would this could actually be happening? You're dating somebody, and you find a red flag, or you find something that is not in your
Suitable.
plan of life.
Right.
Would you really be sticking with that person?
Nope. I got other things to do. No, I would not.
Why
That,
would I even waste my time? Being in a relationship is time consuming.
yeah. And I
So
wouldn't care how young I was. If you're not a fit, you're not a fit. I'm not going to try and rearrange myself to fit how you need me to fit. We all have our own individual lives, and what's made for me is made for me, and that's how I would look at it. But, you know, I think people on that show just want to be winners. No matter what the prize is, they just want to win.
uh, it doesn't make sense to me. I was so shocked. Um, I was so shocked when they went here together and was like, "Oh, I want to be with you." I was literally shocked, because I thought, okay, you said a deal breaker, and you are now saying that you want to be with her, and she's like, "I'm happy." I'm like, have you guys forgotten your deal breaker? As much as I anticipated them, I knew that they might end up together. But I felt like now that this deal breaker thing was going on, I felt like it would give the both of them something to think about and reevaluate, and being like, you know what, I don't think this relationship is for me. You stepping out from the relationship saying it's not for you doesn't mean you don't still like that person.
Right.
Doesn't mean that the love you had for that person has changed or is no longer there. That's a
Yeah.
different thing. It's just that you are choosing yourself.
Yeah.
You care for yourself. You love yourself.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're out there looking for fulfillment that the person that say you love, they can't fulfill your every, feeling that you have. And if they're not trying to fill it, yeah, you're going to go out there and find somebody who can fulfill it for you. That's human nature, you know? So,
Yeah.
yeah, too bad Tommy couldn't have stepped in and said, okay, I'm going to make the final decision on who's ready to love. Nope, 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 and nope, you know, and give him the
Well,
reasons why. Because I don't think a lot of this is going to last.
but I was happy for them that they did choose themselves, and I just want to see the reunion. Are they still together?
Hmm.
Let's see whether at the reunion they are still together, or they've started being there's now cracks in the relationship because they didn't deal. Because I feel like there will be cracks because you didn't deal with the biggest issue you have, but
Right.
you're sticking to you decided to be together. Those kind of things, they find a way to come back to bite you in the ass very deeply, very, very deeply. That's just it. So I can't wait to see them at the reunion to see how that actually played out.
Yeah, I mean, the way the Aries kind of let Phil down, it was like, wow. Because he kind of
We,
has
we, we,
doubts.
we are going to come back to talk about Phil and
Okay.
Eric. But
Okay.
let's talk about Maurier.
Okay.
We had Maurier meeting up with Katrina,
Mm.
and the first person he met up with Katrina, and Katrina brought her cousin sister Monica. I'm gonna tell you, I like this lady. A lot of people were on the timeline yesterday when the episode was airing, like talking like they didn't like the way she was asking some kind of questions. Yes, I understand you might look at it in a certain kind of way, but I think she asked the right question you should be asking in this kind of situation. You need to
Right.
ask the hard questions. You need to ask the brutal questions. You need to put the person on the hot seat to know exactly what's the person's feelings, or how the person literally feel about the person. And I feel like it was necessary because um Katrina was literally acting like a pick me up, agreeing to everything Maurice said. I want a baby mama. I want to move to Africa. I can see myself doing it. I'm like, even her cousin was like, oh, I don't see her doing that because she knows that you would not want to go to Africa and base. But why are you agreeing with Maurier because he said he wants to move to Africa? You're agreeing with him on every single thing that Maurier said. She agreed with him. She said, yes, I can do that. And I'm like, for once you think of yourself. So I felt like I love the cousin sister because the cousin sister for me was like a
Truth teller.
how would I put it? The thought of reasoning for Katrina. Because if she was not there, Katrina would have been lost. Katrina was ready to go on her knees for Maurice.
Wow.
But her being there, she made it. As much as people would say they didn't like the way she was questioning, yes, the questionings were brutal. The way she told him stand up and look at her height, it was funny. But I felt like she wanted to put him under the pressure. She wanted to see how he would be. Know his, is that moment you really know his character, because he might come there to start you know, butter them up, trying to be like all good and proper, prime and proper things, So I loved Katrina's sister. That is the first family member or friend or anything that has come to this season that has done the exact thing you're supposed to do when you're meeting the partners.
Right. Especially when you're dealing with a man with a child that you have partial custody over. But what tripped me out was when he said he has control over his past relationship. Like, what, bro? For real? You know what I'm saying?
I think,
I was like,
and the way that this girl said it didn't bother her cat.
yeah, you know? And the baby mama thing, that bothered the cousin, you know, because it's like if you got that much control over that household, you know, what if your son says, "Hey, I don't like her," you know, how are you gonna handle it? Oh well, it's gonna be no. This is my house and my way or the highway. All that old jibber jabber stuff. Like I don't see. I'm glad that the cousin came because she cleared up a lot of things. A lot of flaws in his character. You know, and I
Yeah,
was like, I hope Catherine is paying attention. Talking about because she said she's been a baby mama before. In her past relationship, I guess her ex dude had a kid. You know, and she was playing stepmom. You know, and evidently it didn't work out because you're not with him anymore. So those are the questions that she should have been asking. But I'm so glad that her cousin was there to ask.
I also glad. Like I was literally so happy that her cousin was here and the cousin asked the appropriate question. Because if not for this cousin, Katrina was gone. Katrina, the way she was answering, I felt like if Maurier asked her to, empty her bank account for him, she was going to do it.
Right.
So I'm glad that she was delivered from that. Then moving on to Jessica's date with Maurier. She met, she brought in her cousin sister. She's also divorced, but she has kids. So to come and survey Maurier. I felt like Jessica's sister was even a little bit considerate to Maurier because she didn't go deep on him. She didn't go deep on him because I don't know. I just don't feel this relationship is not giving what's supposed to give.
Right. I mean, that was the first time I heard about him saying he wanted a restaurant. You know, I I didn't understand that. And we're finding out more and more things about him because he doesn't really open up. You know,
Mhm.
and then he's trying to date these women. And you're basically getting to know them pretty well. You know, but nobody knows anything about you. Other than your dad had passed away, your father, you know, you're in the show to find love, you know. So we didn't really find out a whole lot about him until towards the end, I mean, have you heard him say anything
Found
about a
out was
restaurant?
just surface stuff.
Pardon me?
I said even what we found out were just surface stuff. They were not deep.
Exactly. Exactly. And things we're just finding out. This is the end of the show. We haven't heard him talk about culinary or uh being a chef or wanting to run an establishment or get a chain of stores, excuse me, restaurants. We haven't heard any of this. So sometimes I just kind of felt like he was just throwing stuff in to make him sound good.
Hmm. Exactly. I also feel that way. He always tried to
Hmm.
please. He was a pleaser.
Right.
He was a pleaser. So I was shocked that he chose her. But I'm not gonna lie. I was shocked that he chose her because I felt like he would have gone with Katrina because they believe in the same thing when it comes to spirituality. He has formula her. So I still don't get why he chose Jessica.
Well, I mean, They kind of gave it away during the preview when they showed her leg walking with the heels on. I said, no, I know that ain't Catherine's leg because Catherine has a longer strut because she's taller and the skin complexion did match. So I knew it was going to be her. You know what I'm saying? And like, who else was he going to pick? You know? She
Mm-hmm.
was like the last choice. She hung around, you know, and every time he would go towards to kiss her, I don't know if you noticed, she turned her head. Did you ever notice that?
No.
Yeah, she would turn her head like, nope, you're not gonna kiss me on my lips. You can kiss me on my cheek. So I kind of felt like she really didn't care for him
Mm.
either. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted to win.
Yeah, she just wants to be on the finale.
Yeah,
The finale people.
yeah. I mean, do they get bonuses for that or something?
I don't even know whether you get extra bonuses of being in the finale. I don't know.
Yeah, you would think the way they were fighting to be first.
Well, I wish them well, but but I know that now they are no longer dating because they don't. I don't even think they follow themselves on Instagram, so they're not dating. But I would love to see the reunion to see how things actually played out between the both of them.
Oh, really? Me too.
I'd
Definitely.
love to see the reunion. Now, so this, oh God, Aries and Phil. I'm gonna say this. I feel like Aries is doing this at the wrong time. Although it's better she did it now, but I felt like at that time when Chris was still interested in her, because all the things I'm still always surprised. All the things she always said she wanted in a man, it was Chris. The financial stability, a man that loves to control, a man that is always the head, that wants to be the head and take care of everything, take care of every decision making. That was Chris. That is Chris characters and attitude to things. Why did she not go with Chris? I'm still baffled because all the things she mentioned, even her mom, the security and everything, is the things that Chris had. Well, you never give him the time of day.
Right. I feel that she didn't want to choose Chris because Chris was more like in the friend zone, the little brother zone. He didn't have the the swag, the critique, the look that Phil has. Phil looked like a grown man. Chris looked like a little
Oh.
boy. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you
Mm-hmm.
could have switched those personalities with the bodies, that would probably been the perfect dude for her. You know, but
If you
I
switch
I
up the
knew she,
personality.
yeah. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
you you can't go around building a man. What you see is what you get. And
Oh.
so she ended up choosing herself. Which was a good choice. I mean, because you had so many doubts for the last
But
past
but
four
but
shows. You
but
know,
before we go to her choice during the finale, I want to ask, how did you feel about the kind of questions the mom was asking? Was it nice or were they projecting? Because I understand they grew in a certain kind of way. Family is groomed in a certain kind of way, and was it that like they were projecting the kind of lifestyle they lived or under their father's rule till he's dead, are they projecting that on him because they are when he was like, I want man and woman to always collaborate when it comes to decision making and a lot of things, they found it offensive because they are used to a lifestyle where the man is the head of the house, that the highest ranking person in the house. Whatever decision the head of house makes, every other person has to go with it. And for me, I don't like that mentality because one person cannot be making a decision because it's not every time that one person makes the right decision. So I feel
right.
like it is with the lifestyle she has grown with, how she has been, how she and her family has been. I feel like that is why the parents were like that to Phil. Not like Phil said anything that upsetting. Yes, he might not have a stable job. He might be, trying to make things work. But at
Mhm.
least he is not lying. So I felt like for me, when the mom was trying to say, when they were like, when he said he would love to be in a collaboration with his wife or girlfriend, all of them were making faces of like, oh, this is not a man. I felt like that was so unnecessary. Just because you grew a certain way, don't project it on somebody else.
Right. What all I got from the mom, it seems like the mom was more interested in dating Phil than her daughter really was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you caught the faces, and the pouty lips and the eyes. Mom was giving life over there, baby, to this situation. Like, okay, well, if she won't date you, I will. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
Forget the questions. I was going by the body language, because her mom is beautiful. She's young looking,
mm-hmm.
and she might like men of that age, you know. I don't know if you caught any of that.
I did catch the mom's facial expressions, but I didn't feel like she was into Phil. I felt like probably he was disapproving of him. That was how I felt.
Okay, see, I caught it. I caught like her kind of being kind of flirtatious, at the beginning of them questioning uh Phil. I felt like the mom was kind of flirtatious at the beginning of her questioning, and then once the cousins start asking more questions, about his religion and he says, well, I pray over the food, you know, you're a Buddhist, well, we're Christians, you know. Then it seems like the mom started getting into, okay, let me start asking better questions. Because at first, I'm telling you, just if you ever look at that again, just check out her mom.
Hmm. Oh, I didn't actually see that. That's why it's always good to have fresh eyes. Everybody sees different things in different ways. So that's the way I saw it and interpreted it. That's is different way from the way you saw it and interpreted yours. Now, Aries and Phil, talking about them in this finale. If I tell you that I was shocked, I would that when they were like she was no longer interested. I was so shocked that she was not interested in him. As in, she stood her ground. I was like, I choose me. I didn't even know when I started clapping. Because if for one thing, I've been one person, whatever panel I join, I would be like, Aries would surely choose Phil. So I'm like, I'm not gonna bother myself with how I'm disappointed in her because I knew they were never gonna be endgame because of the security, the job, the security stuff and everything. And for me, since last week, I felt like he has checked out of this relationship. In this episode two, in the beginning, you notice the time they were in that lounge where they were talking together,
Mhm.
and she was talking to him, and he made one kind of laughter. That laughter was like I don't know how to describe it, but it was not a laughter that came from his body. I think he just laughed that laughter on the surface. It was not something that he was happy doing. I felt like he had already checked that from this relationship since she started hitting more on the finance and his finance and everything. So I felt like he was checked out, but I was surprised he still kept on. And you were coming like you say you were tired of her questioning your security and everything. I don't know why they see things and they ignore. That means it's something you don't like. So why did you come up here, even get her a gift, a golf gift for her dead father to try? I feel like he was just trying to woo her to be like, okay, at the end of the day, okay, let me just say yes to the guy. That that was what I felt like he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, Phil kind of knew where it was going, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't like what he was seeing. That's why he would make those little sly remarks like, hey, if that's what she wants to do, then hey, I'm gonna let her do what she wants to do on this because I know my worth. Basically, that's what he was kind of saying, because every
Mm-hmm.
time she kept saying, well, are you able, or, are you stable enough? Are you able to carry the load of having a girlfriend, possible wife, and a step kid, And he kept saying, well, yeah, I guess I'm ready now. If you would have asked me 4 months ago, like what's the difference between 4 months ago? you know, what, you started a new career 4 months ago? I mean, I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of knew where
Mm-hmm.
this was headed, you know? Yeah, hey, we can snuggle up, we can kiss, you can rub my feet, but I'm not choosing you, because I have doubts that won't go away, and as a single mom, that's a red flag. You just you can't throw it under the rug. I'm glad that she addressed it, you know. I'm glad
Yeah,
that she chose herself because that was the best thing for her, especially if you have doubts. You can't go into a
exactly.
relationship with doubts.
That's the worst thing you can ever do for yourself. Going
Yeah.
into a relationship with that, and a fresh one for that matter. That is the worst thing you can do for yourself. So I was happy. I was literally happy that she decided to stand her ground and said, I choose me. So as much as I didn't like how Aries was going after Phil, even when I knew that he was not right, this
Hmm.
action alone made me realize that okay, as much as she's in love, she loves this person, her thinking faculties are still intact. She knows when to dip.
Right.
Yeah. She knows when to say, you know what, I'm out of here. This doesn't make sense for me. This is not my sin. She knows when to do that. So I am really. Oh, someone commented, saying, oh, talk with Lana. Because I joined the panel actually, their panel earlier on.
Hmm.
And Aries was live with them. So she was like, during my life, Aries said the issues wasn't only financial, that it was edited that way.
Mm.
Okay. Hmm. She said they've still spoken outside the show, and he told her that she rejected him because at that time she was mourning. Why I actually heard that part when because I was still on watching the live the panel then. I heard
Hmm.
it was said after after the cameras went off, he came and she has been talking about losing her dad now. They talked about it a lot in this episode about losing her dad freshly. And he was like he felt like the reason why she decided to choose herself is because she's still mourning. Like, why would you say that? When I heard that, I was like, why would you say that? She has literally told you her complaint for so long, and the only thing you could get from it is that she didn't choose you because uh, of
Well, she didn't choose him because, like, who says they want to start over in comedy? Like, is that pain? Are you Kevin Hart? You know what I'm saying? Are you Eddie Murphy? Like, uh, you're not making no money, bruh. You know what I'm saying? You got too many careers like a teenager. She needed
I'm telling
a
you, at
solid
that age,
foundation. You can't
you are
build a
not in
house.
your 20. How old I've forgotten how old he is. You're not in your 20s, you're neither in your 30s. I
He's in
think
his
he should be in his
40s.
40s.
Yes.
In your
And you
40s, and
you
you,
you
oh my
cannot
God.
you cannot build a house on shaky ground. You have to have a
Mhm.
solid foundation. And he wasn't providing it. I mean, look, he was all over the place.
And she Tokusala said they broke up amicably, but the confessionals were short after, and that made her annoyed because he was so sassy on the and truly, yeah, he was really sassy in the confessionals. That was what even
Yes.
pissed me off the most.
Yes.
The way it was like, oh, I'm trying to be there. She's not appreciating. And you know what? I'm done with this. I'm like, you're done with
Yeah.
what? You are not man enough to come to your senses and be like, you know what? I know my finance is not stable now, but I am making sure I am moving forward. I'm going to try to be stable. There's some things you could have said. I'll try to be stable, then come back to you and try to win you over. He could have said those kind of things. You'd be like, okay, fine, he's trying. But he went on the conventionals and was sassy all over. And I'm like, he's such a drama queen, really.
Yeah, because he had a feeling that he was going to be dumped. So he did
Yeah.
a
And
campaign
I,
smear.
And I loved what Aries did. After the rejection, she still collected the baseball.
Ah, yeah,
She says, it's my gift. You got it from me. I didn't ask you.
yeah. I mean, how come he didn't give her that gift sooner? Why did he have to give it to her at the finale?
That's why I said that I felt like it was like a bribe, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that, okay, there's a possibility that this thing was going to go sideways. Okay, let me tap. It was like a manipulation. It felt like he was trying to manipulate, like, he was like, just like, okay, you know what? Oh, I know I might not get this. Let me just manipulate her because she's still mourning her father. Let me tap into that grief that she
Yeah,
has and being
yeah,
like, okay, your father loves baseball. I got you a baseball for so that you can connect together with him. I'm like, stop this rubbish. I was like, when she was like, yeah, oh my God, I'm literally happy. This has literally touched my soul. I was scared that, wow, hope this girl doesn't make mistakes. And immediately she still said, I chose myself after that. I knew, yes, she is a very strong woman. She's sensible. She knows what she wants. Even if
right.
it doesn't suit you, because a lot of people might not agree with her stance of, oh, a man will take all the decisions, a man will be the head, a man will do this, or a man with everything. I'm just there to be supportive and following your lead. A lot of people might not agree with it. Me myself, I don't agree with that kind of lifestyle, but I still stand by the fact that she stood her ground. She knows what you want. This life, once you know what you want and you're not getting it from who you're with, you know what, just move on, because at the end of the day you're going to quarrel, fight, get annoyed, get depressed. Then you come, when you want to get divorced, you'll be like, oh, that the guy was a deadbeat. He was not a deadbeat. You saw him being a deadbeat from the beginning,
Right.
but you decided to stick your head. Now you stuck your head and you fucked around and found out what was going on, and now you're like, so I was literally happy for her that she made that decision. Like, also happy.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That was the right decision to be made in that
That no,
circumstance.
that was the right decision for her to have made at that moment. Like, I felt so proud of her that like, I literally, when she said I choose me, I gasped. Like, I had to rewind back. I was like, did she just say I choose me? Oh my God. I was shocked because if what Aries of episode 4 or 5, she was so gushing about Phil. She's always smiley, giddy, looking into his eyes. She was so infatuated by him. So I did not believe that she would gather up her strength and say, you know what? As much as I have this sexual attraction, physical attraction, emotional attraction with you, there are still some things that I want in place for myself in a relationship and marriage that I am not seeing in you. Like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
she's my girl. I
Oh
respect
yeah.
her.
Oh yeah, most
I
definitely.
do. I do respect
Yeah.
her. But I can't wait to see how the reunion is gonna be like. What is gonna happen? All the bashing. Who's gonna insult who? And when we saw the preview of the reunion, we see Janelle and Tequila, two high tension ladies, going at it. I want to know what's going on, what exactly happened between Tequila and Janelle. But I can't wait. I can't wait for the reunion next week.
Yeah, that's
But
like unfinished business. That's what I call it.
yeah.
You know, totally unfinished.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just
I can't wait
I hope
either.
I hope it's as interesting as the season has been.
Oh
I literally
yeah.
hope it does. Yeah. Well, anyways, thank you guys for joining us today on this recap and review of the finale of Ready to Love. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. The more you like, the more YouTube recommends. And don't forget to click the subscription button down below to subscribe. We'll see you same time next week on the reunion show of Ready to Love. Bye.
Bye.